Hey, what up? It's Sai, and I have another battle here against HicksyTwo from Rocket Game Corner, the same guy who I battled for 50 sub specials. This is my first battle that I used to record. This is my first recorded battle on a webcam, so let me know what you guys think of that. And we're using like all OUs, so like OU battle. So I send in a Heatran, he sends in a Bronzong, and I set up Stealth Rocks and he uses Earthquake, and that brings Heatran down to low yellow. I switch into my Salamence and he switches into his Starmie. I'm fearing an Ice Beam, so I switch into my Vaporeon, and takes the Ice Beam very nicely. Gonna pretty much heal that off for the most part. Then he switches into his Zapdos, and he gets hurt by Stealth Rocks, and I substitute on the switch there. Leftovers. He uses Thunderbolt, and instead of just switching, I use Baton Pass here, so he uses up his turn. He gets the crit off there, so I'm glad he got a crit there instead of anywhere else. Switch into my Gengar. Yeah, I guess he switches into his Scizor to predict a Shadow Ball. If that was right, he predicted right. And that brings him to a little more than half. And instead, he thought I was fearing Bullet Punch, so he used Pursuit, and I go first, and I use Focus Blast, and it hits, and that's going to take out the Scizor. And then he sends in his Bronzong, and I fear a Gyro Ball, so I switch into my Dusknoir, and he predicts the switch and sets up Stealth Rock. Heals off my Stealth Rocks. Then he switches into his Celebi, and I use Brick Break, so he made a pretty good prediction. Yeah. And then I probably should have used Shadow Sneak instead, but whatever. I send in my Heatran, and he uses Leech Seed on the switch. Pretty good play. And I'm at like wicked low health now. And he switches, I don't know why, but I use Rest, and after he switches into Starmie, and it's gonna heal me with everything but Leech Seed. And I am Holy Lumberry, so I wake up and get health from Leech Seed. Use a Surf, and that's not going to take me out. It's gonna bring me to like red. And I use Mud Slap for the annoyance, which I probably should have just used Magma Storm. And he predicts another Mud Slap, and he switches into his Bronzong, which is like wicked annoying in this whole battle. He predicted right, and the Mud Slap misses because he has Levitate, and my Heatran dies a Leech Seed. So he goes down. I send my Dusknoir back in, and I knew he was going to switch back into Celebi, so I use Shadow Sneak this time. And it's going to do a crap load, bring him down to about half. I use Shadow Sneak again, hoping for like a crit or something, or whatever. Brings him down to red health, and he uses Leech Seed again. And he gets a crap load of health back, because Celebi does that, because Celebi's gay. Put him in Ubers. I vote Ubers. Nah, Celebi's not that bad. He's got some major weakness. But he sends in his Zapdos, and I switch back into my Dragonite. And he's like, oh, this is my Hidden Power Ice Savior, so your Salamence is going to die. I'm like, well, this is my Hidden Power Ice Savior, so your Zapdos is going to die. So I use Hidden Power, and that takes out his Zapdos. So it's 5-4 right now, I think. He switches in his Starmie, and I switch out in I switch my Vaporeon in, and he uses Trick. And if you've watched my other videos before, that's really bad on this thing. So he uses Thunderbolt, and I use Baton Pass, hoping I would go first, but whatever. And I switch into my Dusknoir. He predicts Shadow Sneak and goes into his Bronzong, and he was right, but Shadow Sneak's like my best bet here in this whole battle. So I don't want him to kill me, so I switch into my Vaporeon, because Vaporeon's not going to do anything really. He uses Gyro Ball, and it's going to do like almost nothing. Well, if you're in red health, everything is a lot. So he switches into his Celebi, and I use Tickle because it's the best thing I can do here. Because every other move is just like one turn stuff and won't work a second time. So he uses Recover, and I'm like, that's alright, as soon as you kill me, you're gonna die. So he uses Recover. And then he switches and goes into his Salamence, which was actually a misclick. So, you know, it still didn't do too badly. I use another Tickle, and that's gonna lower his attack and defense again. He switches back into his Starmie, and I use Tickle again. You know, that's all this thing can really do, so I'm not switching out yet. He uses Thunderbolt, and that's going to take out my Vaporeon. So yeah, he has leftovers now, and that really kills. I send in my Dusknoir, and he switches into his Bronzong, predicting my next Shadow Sneak, and that's going to friggin' bring him down to half health. I switch back into my Gengar, predicting an Earthquake, but he just goes for Gyro Ball, and because Gengar's defense sucks, it's going to take out Gengar. And then I switch into my Flygon, which probably would have been a smarter choice to switch into than Gengar, but whatever. I use Fire Blast, and that's going to bring him to low yellow. And he uses Gyro Ball, and that's going to do, you know, bring me down to about 3/4. We both get leftovers. He sends in his Salamence. I was predicting he would switch into Starmie, so I used Earthquake, which sucks for me. And he uses Outrage, and I was hoping I would go first or something, or because this is like bulky Flygon, it wouldn't kill me. But it's a Salamence and it's a Dragon move, so it's gonna kill me. And he actually has Life Orb, so I'm like, oh my gosh. So I send out my Salamence and I'm Scarfed. So I'm gonna use Outrage because, you know, it can hit pretty much everything for the same damage, hidden power, whatever it hit him for. He sends in his Starmie, and I was hoping to go first because I'm Scarfed, but because this is my weird Salamence, which is only made to fight a Dragonite, I don't go first, so he uses Ice Beam. That's going to take out my Salamence. And I have no idea what the score is right now, but I send my Dusknoir back in, and I use Shadow Sneak, and it's going to take out his Starmie, so I probably should have done that a lot earlier. So I sends his Bronzong back in, and I use Shadow Sneak again, hoping to kill it, which I don't. He uses Gyro Ball, and that's going to do almost nothing. And I use Shadow Sneak again, it's going to take out his Bronzong. So all that's left is my Dusknoir and his Celebi. And this is pretty much a good game because he just like stalls me and gets me mad. I use Shadow Sneak, it's going to bring him down to about 1/4, and he uses Leech Seed, and he's going to Leech Seed stall and recover like crazy. So, you know, I was hoping for a crit, but he said if I got a crit, then he would DC. So I was like, whatever. If I got a crit, you know, I still would have won. But, you know, this is I don't have many diverse OUs. I just have a bunch of random guys. I do standard battles more than anything. So, yeah. He ends with full health because he recovers and Leech Seed and whatnot. And he has leftovers, so yeah, good game, HicksyTwo. At this point, yeah, it's a good game. Yeah. Okay. Rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of the quality from the webcam. There's not really much I can do about making it better. But I'm going to try using that more often because what I used before had batteries and the batteries always died. So I'm going to be using this pretty much all the time. Check out Rocket Game Corner, and I will see you guys next video whenever that may be.